I gave up gluten for 5 years. Here's what I found. I have stopped eating gluten for 5 years, and you can too. But be prepared, because you know what they say. Once you go gluten-free, you won't go back. When I first identified my gluten intolerance due to my ulcerative colitis, I did not want to believe it. My allergy test said I was clear of gluten allergies, so why should I be forced to give it up? The doctor said diet had nothing to do with my UC, so I should be good, right? A few weeks after finding out about my gluten intolerance, I tested this theory while I was out in New York. Because when in New York, one has to eat pizza. And let me tell you, boy, was that pizza G-O-O-D good. It only took about 3 hours before my gluten denial came back to bite me in the gut. Yuck, that was not a fun night. Next came anger. It's pretty clear gluten is a no-go. But why does it have to be me? Quite frankly, this is bull.
Why me? Georgia?
Why me, Lord?
Lord, dear Lord, why me?
Another lesson I had to learn the hard way. You cannot cheat gluten-free. Once the anger was gone, I became depressed. It was holiday season, and one of the best parts is eating until you can't eat anymore. I thought I had to give up so many foods that I no longer wanted to participate in any holidays. Christmas is canceled. After a few months of fighting with my gluten intolerance, it became clear. Feeling sorry for myself would do no good. With the help of a loving family who made gluten-free options for each and every type of food, and finding gluten-free pizzerias, bakeries, and markets that contain a lot of gluten-free options, gluten-free became a way of life. It became a part of my identity. After more than 5 years of being gluten-free, I no longer want to go back even if I could. No more bloating, no more brain fog, no more back pain, which are all symptoms of consuming gluten. In addition to those basic symptoms, you're gonna have digestive problems. These can include abdominal pain, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, and nausea. Some signs of gluten intolerance may show up as skin issues. Some people with gluten intolerance may develop skin rashes, including eczema and dermatitis. Headaches are a common sign that you are not digesting gluten as well as you think you do. Reoccurring migraines are common in individuals with gluten intolerance. And I get it, going gluten-free is not for everyone. Sometimes our taste buds can override what we know is not good for us. However, if you are curious as to the effects gluten has on your body, I suggest trying a gluten-free month, which is super easy to do. Avoiding all forms of gluten for 1 month should be enough time to reset your microbiome so that if you decide to reintroduce gluten into your diet, the negative impacts of gluten on your GI system will be drastically noticeable. And if a month seems too long, then try it for just 1 week. I think you might be surprised at the results. We know that the microbiome actually changes within 72 hours, so giving it a week is more than likely enough time to figure out these changes, If you are suffering from gut health related issues, upset stomach, indigestion, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, then there is no doubt about it that gluten is not good for you. When you are already suffering from gut health related issues, consuming gluten can trigger immune response that lead to inflammation, which can damage the lining of the small intestine and cause other symptoms. You may have taken a test that says you have no allergies to gluten. Yeah, mine said the same thing. You may have read an article that says gluten is safe for most people. Yep, I read those too, but trust me, just the fact that you found this video, whether you search for it or the algorithm suggested it to you, avoiding gluten at all costs will drastically improve your gut health. The structure of the gluten protein that makes it sticky helps foods like breads, pizza, cake, cookies bind together. However, due to its protein structure, gluten is not fully digestible for all humans. The undigestibility of gluten triggers an immune response that damages the lining of the GI tract. The microbiome is a complex system with too many factors to blame one thing, but gluten intolerance is a great place to start. 3 tips for going gluten-free. Number 1, save money and be healthy by cooking at home. This is considered a win-win. Number 2, plan where to eat and where you're going to get before leaving the house. Many restaurants offer gluten-free menus, even if you don't see it right away. Tip number 3, we like to follow the 5-ingredient rule. As a general rule, we search for labels with 5 ingredients or less. We also look for labels that contain ingredients we can pronounce and know what they are. Gluten-free does not automatically mean healthy. Making the switch to gluten-free foods only does not mean you're automatically eating healthier. Gluten-free foods often contain more sugars and fillers to make up for the lack of gluten. This only increases the importance of reading and understanding nutritional labels. If you're curious in learning more about what to avoid in your journey to a healthier gut, you may want to try an elimination diet, which can help you identify foods causing gut distress. If you made it all the way to the end and you liked what you heard about in this video, go ahead and like and subscribe and check out our next video on elimination diets. I'll see you there.